Do you know who coined the phrase, a penny saved is a penny?
Tell them.
Hello there, Parapeeps, and welcome to another episode of Our Haunted Travels. I am your host, Sean Donnelly.
I'm your co-host, Marianne Donnelly.
Today, we are talking about... It's probably going to get us demonetized on this video, but we're going to do it. It's Christ Church Burial Grounds in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. But before we get into that, if you are into the paranormal, history, and forensic type videos, you're in the right spot. Stop what you're doing right now. Just stop. Go down. And what are you going to do, Mary?
You're going to hit that subscribe button and ding that little bell so that you can hear from us next time we post a new video.
That's right. That's right. So anyways, back to our opening. A lot of people think that Benjamin Franklin invented that phrase, a penny saved is a penny earned.
That is one of his big phrases.
What he's known for.
That's right.
That's what people chuck pennies onto his grave for. He didn't invent that phrase.
So who did?
I don't know exactly who, but I know it dates back to the 1600s. He actually, over time, it changed to a penny saved is a penny earned, and he printed that. So that's what he's known for, that phrase.
That's a good tidbit.
Good little tidbit. Nobody cares.
They all care. Our parapeeps love tidbits.
Okay. Well, there you go, tidbit. I also read a blog post that said he invented lightning and French women.
Yeah, but...
Don't believe everything that's on the internet, folks.
Yeah.
All right. So anyways, we are talking about Christ Church Burial Ground. It is Panic D number 1907, located at 340 North 5th Street in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And is it open to the public? Well, of course it is. It's a cemetery. It's outside. However...
It is closed certain months of the year.
And...
Special holidays.
And... If you want to go inside, you have to pay a small fee.
Oh, yes.
It's a small fee, but it goes to the restoration of the cemetery.
And the upkeep of the cemetery, which has so many of our founding fathers in there, all of our early leaders.
Yeah. So, if you want to know about the paranormal claims related to this cemetery, the one little part about the cemetery that was in the Ghost Stories of Folklore, the Ghost of Benjamin Franklin, I'll put a link to that right here. Ding! It talks about that. And we also did a video that is a collection of all of the photos that I was joking saying that you took all of those photos, but no, it was both of us. We both had cameras. That's why we have so much.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of glad that we did all those because, you know, some of those stones might not be there now. You know? Well, I'm jumping ahead. When I come back, I'll talk about it. Before we go any further, watch some history about the burial grounds, and we'll come back and I'll finish my thought. So watch this. We'll be right back.
The Christ Church Burial Grounds sit on 2 acres of land on the outskirts of town at the corner of 5th and Arch Streets in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The land was purchased and dedicated to its designation as the Christ Church Burial Ground in 1719. The cemetery is surrounded by a brick wall and a metal fence, which allows passersby to see the gravesite of Benjamin Franklin without having to enter the cemetery. There is a fee for entrance, which does help maintain the grounds. The brick wall was first built in 1772. The metal fencing that makes the Franklin gravesite visible was added later, in around the mid-1800s. It was either as a public relations campaign or at the request of the family. This is debated today. In any case, these burial grounds eventually became the final resting place for over 4,000 members of Christ Church, including Benjamin Franklin and 4 other signers of the Declaration of Independence. Joseph Hewes, Francis Hopkins, George Ross, and Dr. Benjamin Rush. And of course, Benjamin Franklin, who is buried next to his wife, Deborah. Joining them are other early leaders of the colonial and revolutionary era, pioneers in the medical field like Dr. Philip Singh Physick, who is known as the father of modern surgery, and military, including the founders of the U.S. Navy, Civil War generals like Major General George Caldwater, and the commander of Old Ironsides himself, Commodore William Bainbridge. Some others buried here include the founder of the Philadelphia Zoo, which was America's first zoo, Dr. William Kemp. And even gravediggers like John Taylor, who dug graves for over 50 years, and numerous individuals who died from the yellow fever epidemic. Now, the oldest known marker in the burial ground belongs to a woman named Sarah Knowles, who died in 1721. Now, you may be asking, 1721, didn't it begin to be a burial ground in 1719? Yes, but unfortunately, over 2,500 markers have disappeared completely due to erosion with time. Most of the markers were made of soft marble that was very easily eroded. In fact, as early as 1864, it had already begun to show much loss, and Edward Lyon Clark compiled a book of all the visible inscriptions on the markers at that time. Some of these that he documented are today unlocatable. We may never know where many of the people he listed are buried in the burial grounds, but at least there is a record that they were buried there. A couple of examples of this are Samuel Blodgett. He was a designer of the first bank of the United States. Another was Charles Mason. He was a surveyor who helped settle the boundary dispute between Pennsylvania and Maryland and created the Mason-Dixon line. And even Reverend Aaron Cleveland. He was a minister and great-great-grandfather of President Grover Cleveland. The burial grounds are accessible by the public today, though it is closed December, January, February, and of course on special holidays like Easter Sunday, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. But the burial ground was completely closed to the public from 1977 through 2003. It was in 2002 that the Christ Church Preservation Trust began a program to renovate and reopen the site to the public. Part of this project included restoring over 150 grave markers that had broken pieces that needed to be pinned and mortared, as well as rebuilding parts of the exterior brick wall. Landscapers were also hired to clean up overgrown grounds, which they did by removing ivy, pruning trees, and even creating new paths with turf. Then, in 2003, it was reopened to the public. Now, in December of 2005, in honor of Benjamin Franklin's 300th birthday, Christ Church Preservation Trust constructed a new brick path that went around the Franklin grave site. In 2016, the Christ Church Preservation Trust raised $76,000 for architectural renovations to repair a crack that threatened the Franklin's grave marker. The repair team also restored other areas of deterioration at the Franklin family plot, including the marble face of Franklin's grave tablet, which after years of throwing pennies at Franklin's grave, tended to pit the marble surface. The restored family plot was unveiled in 2017. Now, if you would like to support or sponsor specific graves or continued restoration projects, they do accept donations to help maintain our early leaders' graves for our future generations.
So yes, if you would like to donate to help preserve this Cemetery. We're going to put a link down in the description to their page where you can go make a contribution. Mm-hmm. That would be pretty cool. Probably something that we'll end up doing. But yes, a lot of history there, and it's a very good cause to save that. But anyways, the thought that I was having was those pictures that we have out here that we posted this week and stuff, that cover, that marble cover that's over top of Frank, that might not be there, right? They replaced that.
They repaired and replaced, yes.
Did they repair it or replace it?
They did, I believe, replace.
I think they replaced too. So we have pictures of the old one that's not there anymore. I wonder what they did with that. I wonder if they put the old one like in a museum or something.
Or if they put the old one on top, or the new one on top.
Don't know.
I don't know. I wasn't there for the restoration. I'm not sure.
I know, but we were there in 2015.
Right before they started the restoration process. So, guess what?
We have photos of it before.
And?
What?
We have to go back and see the
of course
finishing.
We do. Of course we gotta go back.
We gotta go back.
We gotta relive our last 10 years of our life somehow and go to new places and all that other stuff like that.
Yeah, we just gotta have some more extra travel time coming in here somehow.
All right, personal experiences.
I thought it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked when we went and we had to pay to get in. I'm like, I'm paying to get into a cemetery? That's so weird. But like once you get in there and you realize all of our leaders that are there, all those signers of the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, like all of their graves are there, you know, and they don't really have a lot of living relatives. So who's going to take care of their graves? So people like us who go there, they can take care of them by paying just a couple of dollars, you know.
Yeah. That trip that we took there to Philadelphia, and we were at just downtown in that area just that one day.
One day.
We saw the gravesite of Betsy Ross, Benjamin Franklin. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a pretty awesome day. Right.
Now, Betsy Ross is not buried. Betsy Ross is not buried here in this Christ Church.
She's
by her house,
which is right around the corner. What made me think of that is we knew the cemetery was there. It took a little bit to find it.
Right, because originally they started burying their people like right there at the church itself. Mm-hmm. And then eventually they bought this land outside of town, you know, when they started to realize you should, you know, have them slightly separate from like everybody.
Yeah. Which we haven't done Christ Church yet.
Right.
Which actually has burials in the
church
floor,
as well.
Mm-hmm. With the aisleway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you walk on people's graves in there all the time.
Yeah, well, that's a later video.
Different time.
Yeah, so I'm thinking experience. We parked the car and we did a lot of walking that day. A lot of walking. And we went looking for
the cemetery
mm-hmm. From the Betsy Ross house. And it took some... Good thing it was on the way back to the car. And of course it's in July, so it was warm. But
I like it warm.
Yeah, I was melting. But
while we were there, I also thought that there was still a lot of restoration work yet to happen.
Oh yeah, definitely. And if you saw the photos, which if you didn't, I'll put a link to that. Ding. You can see through the photos there was a lot of damaged.
Right.
And I don't think it's vandalism. I think it's more just age.
Yeah. This cemetery is from 1719, and they have like 300 years worth of graves, and you know.
Yeah.
Time is
definitely
causing some problems.
So the one claim that we did find for the cemetery was you put the pennies on the grave, turn around, and they get thrown back at you. I guess this is a no-brainer. Why is this place so active? Or it's a cemetery.
Not to mention
there's a mixed thing in the paranormal field, whether cemeteries would be haunted or not haunted,
right.
Or why would you go to cemeteries and that kind of thing.
But there's so many influential people there, you know that like some night they're just gonna all get up and go have a party and chit chat. And
if you look at the paranormal theories and piece them all together about cemeteries, and you mentioned it in the history, there's a lot of unmarked graves. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of disturbed grave sites. There's that kind of thing. So yes, that could stir up activity according to the theories. So
I just want to believe that someday these guys are all gonna
graves. Rising up.
I just want to believe that someday all these guys are just gonna get up and go chill and have a party and go and talk about all the things that they did and what's new and what'd you see over there yesterday? How about over there? What'd you see?
Yeah.
Who came to visit your grave?
Yeah. Well, is there anything else you would like to add to this?
Just that it is a
very historical cemetery.
Very historical, important cemetery, and I'm glad that they are taking care of it. I'm glad that they reopened it after being closed off for so many years, and
I hope they keep it up.
Yeah.
And I hope somebody from that society sees this video, because kudos to you guys. And Benjamin Franklin's house is gone.
Yes.
Got to maintain his grave at least, so.
And everybody else.
Yeah. All right, till next time.
Thanks for watching.
And happy hunting. Let us know if you like this video by hitting that thumbs up. Also, if you'd like to see more videos from us in the future, support our channel by hitting that subscribe button and dinging that bell so you get notified the next time there's a video from Panic D Videos.
Thanks for watching.
Happy hunting.